Hi everyone, I'm Deanne from Newfoundland, Canada. Welcome to my Flosstube channel, Stitching on the Rock. We are at episode 45. Hi everyone from the far east of the western world where it's a very dull day, so I apologize ahead of time of the lighting. I got my lamp on, you can see the dots in my eyes. But I'm trying. I didn't put the ring light on because then the circles would be like, oh well. So last time hello. I think we just lost our power. We did. So it's gonna be even duller. Hopefully it'll be back on in a second. Oh, there it is. Sorry for that. Anyway, last time I said I was gonna wait 3 weeks because I don't feel like I had much to do, much done in 2 weeks. Life has been really busy. Yeah, I would have had nothing to show you. Life has been crazy over the last few weeks. If you don't want to hear this, you can skip ahead. But, well, between medical appointments for myself and my son, and schoolwork, because they're coming to the end of the term next week, so they're giving all the tests and all the assignments to have something to put on the report cards. Yeah, we haven't had much time. And then last weekend, my son was supposed to be at his dad's house. We're not together, and he spends 2 nights a week, or 2 evenings a week with his dad, and then every other weekend. Well, he was there Friday and overnight on Friday, and then Saturday his dad called and said he got a call from the seniors home that his mother is in, and she wasn't doing very well, and so he was bringing Aaron home. Power gone again. Oh, she has dementia. She has Lewy bodies dementia, and she had stopped eating and drinking, so they brought her to the hospital, or family went to the home and then said they wanted her brought to the hospital. She's been there for the week, and she's gone into palliative care today. So all the time that Aaron usually spends with his dad, he's been at home, which means my stitching time has gone down. I mean, it's a terrible situation. And then he messaged me this morning, and he has 3 siblings. All of them have children that are adults and not at home. One of his sisters, who lives with his second sister, tested positive for COVID, which means she can't be part of the rotation of being with her mom, and her sister can't because there's a possibility that she will test positive, and then Aaron's dad and his brother were both with her when she was at the hospital. Aaron was with his dad for a couple hours yesterday. He's been with his dad 3 hours in the last week, and that's a normal evening, one evening. They went for a drive, but I tested him this morning. He tested negative. His dad is tested negative, so fingers crossed not one of them get it. So needless to say, stitching has not been a priority over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, but I have this week tried somewhat when Aaron was in school, and he's off today. They have a PD day for teachers to prepare the report cards. So yeah, it's been fun. So welcome. I forgot last time to say thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you for everybody that comes back to watch. Hopefully that won't be happening the whole time. If you're new, maybe like and subscribe. I apologize for anything I forget today. It's a habit of mine. You'll get used to it. On to the stitching, I promise. So we're going to start with whips, because all my whips are on top of my finishes and my FFO. But if you followed me on Instagram, I know you've seen them before. Well, at least the FFO and one of the finishes. The other one I finished yesterday, so I didn't post it yet. But anyway, we'll start with little things on top. Not a whole lot of progress on anything. Yeah. No Q snaps taken off yet, so you'll have to be patient with me. So first up is the oh, I didn't even stitch on this. I just added this to my little rotation today because I finished something yesterday. Sorry. So a freebie from Stitching with the Housewives, A Very Merry Christmas. I didn't get much done, but here we are. You can find this on Priscilla's blog, which I will link below. Yeah, my wrinkled up pattern. It's stitched on 28 count black even weave. So I finished the word Christmas. I did a couple of little white doodads, and I started on the little tree below the Christmas, and that's what that got done. Hopefully it'll be done to get on the tree this year. It's just a little filler in between my big ones. Next up is one of my Heaven and Earth designs that is in my rotation, and I'll put up a picture because I forgot to take my little folders of pictures out. It is Quick Stitch Color Expansion Pride and Prejudice by Amy Stewart. It's a section of the Heroes and Heroines shelf, I believe. I'm stitching it 1/1 on 28 count ice blue, and I got a whopping 174 stitches done. So I was doing it diagonally, as I was telling last video, if you saw my last video. And when I went back up to stitch, let me turn my light on, see if that will help. Ooh, that's bright. I noticed a kind of faint line, and I have a bit of a tight tension, and so anything I can do to avoid lines. So then I just picked the color with the most stitches and have kind of gone a bit of cross country. So here we are. Yep. That's almost the full diagonal of the picture. And then I just picked the green. Let me bring it down so you can see. And am stitching 3362, I think it is, which is the green color, has the most stitches. And that's what I was working on. And these are in no particular order. Just I grabbed all my project bags out of my shelf right here for this kind of rotation that I've gone through my widths and picked out the ones I want to get some progress done on. And sorry, like I said, I'm not organized at all today. And this is a pattern that fell on the floor. Strawberry Harvest by Cottage Garden Samplings, which is the second of the A Time for All Seasons that I have picked. I have completed First Signs of Spring for the spring piece I wanted. This is my summer piece. I should have it finished. I'm working on the winter one, but I don't. This is stitched on 36 count. Is my card in here? What is it? 36 count. I can't remember the name. I'll write it up here. But I dyed it anyway. Oh, Winter Moon. Winter Moon. 36 count Winter Moon. And I dyed it with pearl gray, denim blue, and petal pink. And here we are. Oops. Let's fold it up so there'll be less see-through. So the frame is all done, and I have all of the antique rose done on the bird, and now I've started on the faded rose on its head. So there we are. Oop, can't see it all. Fabric Wrangler is what I need. There we go. So it's coming along. And I'm going to I'm pretty sure that I'm going to leave out the little tray of strawberries. I'm going to do the big strawberry and the bird. I think I may leave this out. At least that's the plan right now. My bag again. Next up is Jumping Jacks by M. Sarah Design Studio. And this is done 2/2 on 28 count Monaco that I dyed with aquamarine, and then I coffee tea dyed it. Once again, Q-snap. And here we are. All the pumpkins are done. I'm working on the leaves, and then there's a checkerboard kind of stripped through the leaves. So last time I had this checkerboard done and this leaf done with the stem. Then I've done this leaf and the stem, and I'm working on another leaf right here. And I thought I'd put it away because it's winter now. But I really want to have it done for next Halloween, to be able to put up, or next fall to be able to put up. So I think I'm going to keep going on it. I mean, it's only I only have the row of leaves, so I'm right here in this dark leaf. So I only have like that left to do. And so I can, oh, and the moon. I keep forgetting about the moon. Up in the corner. Next up is my second Heaven and Earth design in my rotation. Goodness, I don't have a lot of pieces in my rotation. Only 2 more to show you, and I'm going to show you, before I show you my finishes, I'm going to show you one of my purchases. Because I have one of my pieces of my rotation in it. So next up is River's Edge, which I'll put a picture up of, by Kevin Daniel. And this one I'm stitching for my son because he absolutely loves ducks. And it's very hard to see progress on this one because I'm doing extreme cross country, so it doesn't really look like anything. So here we are. It's done 1/1 on 28 count lichen green, lichen gray, I think it is. But it's like a light gray green color. Let's see, can you see? This is what I have done, which, like I said, doesn't look like anything at all. It's just, I called the black a swarm of flies, and that's kind of what. But I'm working on the second color, which is 3865, which is another reason why it's difficult to see, because it's just like a white color. So I am working across this column or row right here. So I'm right here. Oh, I didn't tell you, Pride and Prejudice, I got 174 stitches done on it, but it's at 9.85%. So when it gets to 10, it will go out and another full coverage will come in. This, I got 217 stitches done, and it's at 8.46, and same thing when I get to 10. So I'm right here, which looks like absolutely nothing in the camera. And very hard to see. But that's all I can do about it until I get to another color. But there's 19,000 stitches left in that color, so it'll be a while before I get to another color. Next up is my focus piece, which is Mini Sunflowers by Marion Broom, Heaven and Earth Designs again. Stitching it 1/1 on 25 count daffodil, and my goal is to get this to 50% before the end of the year, and I would have had it at 50% now, except I had to do a major frog, and I'll show you when I get it out of the Q-snap. So this one I do a minimum of 50 stitches a day, maximum of about 200, because I could, do 500 or 600 a day, but I don't want to go to the extreme. But that was what I worked out when I decided I wanted to get it to 50% before the end of the year. 50 stitches a day would get me there if I didn't have to frogged. So here we are. so you can see where I frogged everything I had done in the center of the flower. I found an error, and it was right in the middle of the week of chaos, and I'm like, oh, I can't figure out what I did wrong. And so I just pulled out everything I had done in there. But here's where we are. So I have been stitching. So everything up in this corner is pretty much done except for a few random confetti stitches. So I've just been going across and coming down. Well, I hit about there and then go. And so I'll do that across. And so I got in 1459, so 1,459 stitches in the last 3 weeks. I'm at 46.50%. So I need 3.5%, and it should take, I haven't stitched today on it, so that shouldn't take me too long to get it done. And once it gets to 50%, which should be by the end of this month, I'll take December off of it and then start it up again in January, because my goal is to finish it next year. Now, my final piece is my Little Things sampler by Stitches Through the Years. The cover. I told you last time I love and I hate this piece. I think that it's beautiful. I love the saying on it. I love the color. Well, the color palette actually is my own. I had the one DMC within it is the only color I had in my stash. So I picked through my stash, and this is the color palette that I have. So 422, and then I'm using Bark by Gentle Arts. I am using Brethren Blue by Gentle Arts. I am using Cedar Mill Brown by Gentle Arts. I am using Hazelnut by Gentle Arts. Oops. I am using Molasses by Weeks Dye Works. I am using Pecan by Gentle Arts. I am using Oatmeal by Gentle Arts. And I am using Old Hag by Brennan Needle. Oops. Ooh. Here it is. I'm using Storm by Gentle Arts. And I am using Wood Smoke by Gentle Arts. I love it, but I hate stitching samplers because once you got a countdown, you stitch that number of stitches every time that section comes up, and somewhere through it they've changed the number. Yeah, and then you have to frog, and so it is on my latest purchase. This is, oh, I'm going to try hopefully not make you guys sick as I turn. And excuse the background. I only made sure this looked nice. So it's all, watch the, sorry about the window. So it attaches. Oop, if I can gently move you guys down to the desk. Oop, with the clip. Hopefully it's not too shaky. Oop. And it also comes with an attachment. Sorry, guys. Attachment for your phone, which I haven't tried. So when I get my Christmas piece ready to start, I may film how I start my full coverage. So because I can have the camera down at the desk. We'll see how that goes. But it comes with this clip. And you can use it on ring hoops or Q-snaps. And this is where I stitch. And I was finding holding the Q-snaps, especially the bigger ones, after a while, my hand was cramping up. So I wanted something. Originally I didn't want something to attach to the desk, but I've got like a shelf liner under the clip, and it, or you know, where it screws onto the desk. And so far it's doing great. It works great with my goosenest. 8x8 is mostly what I use. I do have some 11x11. It works with them. They're a little heavy. I kind of have to put my arm to hold it a little bit, but like that's as big as I go. I can't do the 11x17, or they're just too big for me. And it's going really good. So this, oh, I was working on this morning, so I'm showing you guys. I actually think I did pretty good since my last video. Take all this stuff off that holds all the extra fabric. This is stitched 1/2. Did I tell you that the Strawberry Harvest was stitched 1/2 on 36 count? I guess most people know that. This is stitch 1/2 on 36 count light mocha. And here is where we are. It's really big to show you guys. So since I saw you guys last, I'm not sure if I had this motif finished or not, but if I didn't, I finished it. And then I stitched all of this motif. I did the darker line of the border here and here, and then I did the outline of this one, and I'm currently filling this one in, but I had some thread left when I finished that, so I came down and did that much of that motif. And that's, I think that's the end of the border line, because there's a band of color that goes across the bottom. So once I got it figured out and got my line done correctly, the rest of it has been pretty easy to fill in. And that is all of my whips. So actually not too bad considering how crazy things have been. Excuse me for 1 second. So finishes. My first finish after I saw you guys was my modified Sunflowers in Summer by Country Cottage Needleworks. I always get the two of them mixed up. So here it is. So I took these words, which were supposed to be above the house, and moved them down. I got rid of the words that were supposed to be here. I changed the colors. The yellow was, I used butternut squash. I can't remember what the original was supposed to be. And then I changed the lighter green to, I can't remember. Anyway, if you're interested, I can tell you. And if you're curious, you can go back to my last video, and I'm sure I told you then what I did. And so the only thing I lost was there was a couple of little swirls, I think, by the sides of the words up there, but they didn't really fit in here. So that was it, and it's done 2/2 on 28 count Autumn Field, and it's beautiful fabric. And I don't know who manufactured it. It was just in my stash from years ago. So I have a plan to finish it. I just haven't gotten the chance to do it. I have the backing board. I need to get some backing fabric. I have a piece, but it's only a little scrap, so I have to get to the store to get more. And then yesterday I finished 7 Swans to Rule Them All by Screaming Heart Designs on Etsy. And here we are. So it says, 7 swans to rule them all, 6 geese to find them, 5 rings to bring them all, and in a pear tree bind them. So it's a take on Lord of the Rings and the 12 Days of Christmas, and it's done 2/2 on a minty green linen, 28 count linen that I don't know where it came from, and it's stitched with Brennan Needles Pirate Glass, which is a variegated green, and I don't know if you're going to see the variegation in it, but it's actually fairly variegated. Now the designer finished theirs in a hoop, and that's maybe what I'm going to do. I don't know. It's just a cute little Christmas design to have out. And finally, my FFO, and if you follow me on Instagram, I know you've seen it, and everybody has commented on it on Instagram, and they have an Unearthed Designs Facebook group, and I got a call the day after I videotaped last time. I stretched it out to 3 weeks last time, hoping for a phone call, and they called the day after I videotaped. Here we are. Woo. Excuse the glare. Well, actually, it's not terrible. Here, let me see if I move my lamp over. It'll make it darker, but hopefully you guys can see. Woo. I'm right by a window too, which doesn't help. So, anyway, thumbnail time. Do you think? I love it. It is, for those of you who don't know, Iris, Mini Iris. No, Quick Stitch Iris. Quick Stitch Iris by Josephine Wall for Heaven and Earth Designs. It was not a quick stitch. It took me, I don't know how many years, but that was a lot because I wasn't stitching for a number of years. And I took it to my local framer who did an awesome job. The mat is like a periwinkle, and then it's not white, it's kind of an off-white. And just a simple black frame. I just didn't, yeah. So I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing. I'm trying to get a thumbnail. Do you think that they'll do that? No, they'll do one where my mouth is all screwed up and I'm not, my eyes are half closed and I'm not looking very nice at all. So that's all stitching, and stitching. I've been pretty good with my purchases. I've been, oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. Continuing to kit up my Home for Christmas. This is gonna be my Christmas start. Home for Christmas by Donna Gelsinger for Heaven and Earth Designs. I've been kitting up the thread. I don't usually kit. I have my thread. It used to be over there. It's now over here on the floor. And I stitch here, so I usually just pull. But this is gonna be a special one. So I've been kitting up my thread. I made my own floss tags with Christmas scrapbook papers. And I made my own little ring bling, little Christmas mitts. I've been going, every time I'm in the vicinity of Michael's, I have my list and I go in and I pick up 5 or 10. There's 88 colors and several of them you require more than one skein. So our Michael's is not that great with having their DMC in stock. So I have like 21 of the colors. Plus any of these that had multiple skeins. I have the multiple skeins. And I also have my fabric come. Sorry, I should have had this out from Gita. And I just got a ivory 28 count. I stitch my full coverages 1/1 on 28 count mostly. So I have that. It's bigger than I need, but when I get around to preparing it, I'll cut it. My goal is to start it on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. It depends on activities with the family and that. As far as I know, after supper on Christmas Day, my son is going to his dad's for overnight and coming back Boxing Day. So if I don't get it started on Christmas Eve, I'll start it then. And my plan is to stitch it for the week between Christmas and New Year's, and then I will pull it out on the 24th and 25th of every month and stitch it then. It's 473 by 633, so I figured in 10 years I'll have it ready for Christmas. Plans. And plans. I'm not a planner. I'm not a planner with anything in my life. I'm a terrible planner. I hear all these people talking, every video they talk about their plans. My plans are to stitch on my whips. That's my plans. But I have been making 2 little plans for next year. I mean, I've been putting down my goals for my whips on what percentage I want to have them, what ones I want to have finished next year. Like I want to finish Mini Sunflower. I want to finish Strawberry Harvest. I mean, I'd be thrilled if that would be finished this year, but I'm not hopeful. If life continues in the next month like it has been in the past few weeks. Obviously, you know, the ones that I'm working on, I want to see some progress. I want to get, once Strawberry Harvest is finished, I'm going to get the next one, my fall one, October 31st, and start that one. But I have 2 sales that I'm planning to participate in. They're not like design sales. They're not on a specific design. Maybe I should say that. In Helen D's last video, she mentioned that she wanted to start a sale in the new year, and she was calling it the Book It sale, I think is what she had it called. But I'm sure she'll talk more before the beginning of the year. But you can watch her next video, her last video if you want some information. And basically says we all have these magazines and books, and we collect them, and we buy them because of designs, and then we don't stitch them. So she wants to do next year some designs out of books and magazines that she has, and I went through mine and I came up with 11 designs that I would like to stitch out of books and magazines I don't have a ton. And so I gave my son and said pick between 1 and 11, and he did, and he picked one, and it's, oh, I should have pulled it out. Oh, 1 second. It's in here. This is my bin of plans. That holds all the magazines and things that I've pulled out. So it's just a little one to start with. It's this one. Hopefully you can see it very good. It's called Hearts and Beads is what it's called, and it's just a little round, and it's like a tone on tone kind of. And I had a piece of 28 count Monaco, and that's my first round piece, so we'll see how that goes. But it's not hard. It's got some beads in it, and I've got tons of beads, and it's got some satin stitches, so it shouldn't be very hard. And the other cell, I just watched Darlene Dion's last video, and she said that Mama Loves You GB started it. But I haven't watched her video to get all the details. But it's the PNP 6 Houses 2024 sale, and PNP is Pinker and Pumpkin. Melissa, who puts up tons of beautiful freebie designs. You've seen the 3 ornaments that I completed, I showed in my last video, that were hers. And so she has a ton of houses, and especially salt box houses, which are very popular here in Newfoundland. If you spend time driving around the little communities here, you see plenty of salt box houses. And so I don't have pictures of the ones that I'm going to do, but I went through and found, I think Darlene said she has 36 houses. They're not all salt box ones, but 36 house designs. And so I assume by the 6 houses, we're doing 6. So I went through a bunch and I picked out 6. And that starts in January as well. And so I'm going to take part in that throughout the year. So both of them are throughout the year. There's no deadlines. There's no pressure. There's nothing like this. You have to stitch this part by this date or anything like that, which is my kind of sell because I don't do well with deadlines. As showed that everything I've stitched for somebody else, I'm finishing the night before. And that's lots of plans. Hopefully they'll follow through. Most of them are kind of, yeah. If I get it done, I get it done. If I don't, I don't. But it's nice to have a list to cross off. And I think that's everything that I have to say today. which is not too bad. Yeah, I'll see you guys in about 3 weeks. Bye.